Here is my full and completely honest review of MuscleTech's Mass Tech Elite Mass Gainer.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Short review, jumping right into it. I'd give it 4.75 stars out of 5. I want to stress, I bought this with my own money. They did not ask me to make this video. They don't even know I'm making this video. And I gotta say, this stuff works. Now, getting into the long review, I actually bought 2 tubs of these, and I was doing it for an experiment where I was seeing how much muscle I could gain in 30 days. I have the video listed below in the description if you want to watch it. Short answer, in case you're curious about that video, unfortunately, I did get hurt in the last week. However, I gained 4.6 pounds of muscle in just 23 days. And I gotta say, I think among all the workouts I was doing, among all the crazy amounts of food I was eating, this was, I think, a huge staple of me being able to build a ton of mass. Because as you can imagine, when it comes to a mass gainer, which is what this is, and if you're trying to bulk up and build muscle, the biggest thing is just eating a ton of food. It was Hugh Jackman who said that you have to look at eating similar to a workout where you're like, all right, just one more bite. And what's useful about this is actually if you're traveling, if let's say you're on a time crunch or whatever, this has an insane amount of stuff. I'll use that very loosely. An insane amount of stuff in it to really propel your gains and put on mass. Here are the nutritional facts, or I guess being more specific, the supplement facts. As you can see, one serving size is 5 scoops, so it's a lot, and there's about 14 servings per container. In addition, when it comes to the specific calories, I'm not gonna lie, on the right-hand side, when it says, oh, with 16 ounces of skim milk, ignore that. I don't like it when companies do that, when they kind of say, oh, if you add this other thing in it, here's what you might get. I just look at, hey, what is actually in this? It has 830 calories. In case you're curious, when I was doing this whole experiment, seeing how much muscle I could gain in 30 days, I started off my day every day with this. I found doing some research that because, while you were sleeping, you weren't getting any nutrients, of course, this is a great way to start your day if you're trying to put on mass. So I started my day with 830 calories, jumping down to kind of the main highlights, 132 grams of carbs, 10 grams of sugar, which I'm not gonna lie, a bit higher than I'd like, 63 grams of protein, and then we go down here, we have a muscle and strength amplifying complex, and then a digestion and absorption support. As you can see, there's a bunch of stuff in this, so I'm just kind of quickly glossing over this. But in addition, I might as well say too, there's 10 grams of creatine monohydrate. So like if you don't have any creatine or want to kind of save some money, you can just get this and get your creatine monohydrate in addition to all the other stuff that's in this. Now, the biggest benefit, in my opinion, of this mass gainer, because there's a million mass gainers on the market, is one, this is 7 pounds. I'd say pretty standard for a mass gainer, but the biggest thing is the price. This entire tub is $50. So let's say if you're going for a month supply, you're basically looking at about $100 for 1 month. Compared to a lot of mass gainers, that is way more inexpensive. I mean, I've seen some mass gainers that had 7 servings for $40 or $45. And you're like, wait, 7 servings for like 40 something bucks? So the good thing about this, and I did a ton of research on Amazon, I did a bunch of that serving size math on Amazon, being like, all right, so this one has 10 servings, but it costs $60. That's $6 per serving. And that isn't that good. So with this, in case you are curious, you're basically spending about $3.50 per serving. That is way cheaper than almost every other mass gainer out there. And trust me, I did the math and I did the research, and even some of the other ones that might have been cheaper, they didn't have as much protein or as many carbs, etc., etc. Now, the main reason why I gave it the 0.25 deduction is honestly the taste. The only issue with the taste, and it's not like it was a bad taste, it was just super, super sweet. It is something I just kind of got used to, being like, whatever, I start my day off like this, no big deal, but it is a very sweet taste. And in addition, it clumps up a lot. I know this is true for not just mass gainers, but protein powders. But if you think protein powders clump up, this is like double that. So what I'd have to do is take my blender cup and I'd fill like half of it with water, put 5 scoops of this in it, shake it up, put more water in it, and kind of have to refill it a couple times. I mean, if anything, and this is what you should do, they do suggest it, put it in a blender. So actually, let's say get a blender, start your day off with water, this, if you want to use skim milk, you can, like they suggest, put it in a blender and blend it up. I kind of wish I did that, but when I was waking up, I was like, you know what? I'll just put it in my actual blender bottle and just shake it and just deal with the clumps, so to speak. But like I said, the biggest thing is really the taste. I mean, the clumpiness, kind of inevitable and whatnot, but the taste was just super sweet. Like I said and showed you, there is 10 grams of sugar. It's not obnoxious, don't get me wrong, but that is a bit higher than I'd like. Overall though, I gotta say, when I fully tested this out, like I said, I bought 2 tubs of this. When doing that experiment, when seeing how much muscle I could gain, when seeing how much mass I could put on, this was a huge staple that I really did notice a tremendous amount of benefits. And especially when you look at what's in this, combined with how inexpensive it is compared to every other mass gainer out there, the MuscleTech Mass Tech, 100% worth the money.